Welcome to the Magic on the Inside podcast by the Sisters Enchanted, where we chat magic, hot topics, personal development, and good old-fashioned life. Brew up something delicious and sit with us for a spell. Welcome to this episode of the Magic on the Inside podcast. I'm Sarah, founder of the Sisters Enchanted, and this is a quick tip episode for you. Now, you know that we've been talking a lot about tarot here at the Sisters Enchanted. It's not the only thing that we talk about for sure, but it's a big part of who we are and what we do. And one of the things that we introduced this month as part of our 5-year birthday celebration is our Tarot Coach program that goes hand in hand with our Tarot Throwdown program. Now, we developed the Tarot Coach methodology to help people to really serve their clients and to stand out in the tarot reading world where there are so many tarot readers. Have you ever been to a metaphysical fair? I've been to lots of them. I've read at them. I've received readings at them. And over my 20 years of tarot reading, I've seen lots of things go down at metaphysical fairs. And here's some of what I know to be true from people who receive readings. People either they walk away having what they already knew to be true, what they suspected, their answers, it's confirmed for them, right? They receive confirmation through their tarot reading. That's one thing that happens. A second thing that happens is people walk away feeling like really excited, like, wow, how could you have known that about me? That's so crazy. A third thing is that folks walk away with more questions than they arrived with. And the reason for that is because when we receive information that's not validating what we know to be true, we hear something else, we start to question ourselves, our logic, we question what could have been going on, maybe the reader wasn't correct, all of these things that happen. And at metaphysical fairs in particular, I will see people who bounce from table to table to table to ask the same question of different readers, right? And the interesting thing here is that people do the same thing online. If they're seeking a tarot reading, like a distance tarot reading online or in person or wherever, they will seek validation and leave with more questions than they arrived with in many cases. And that's where the idea of the tarot coach comes in. It's a methodology that helps people to understand how to come to the answers on their own with your guidance, with your intuitive guidance, your knowledge as a tarot reader. It's a really beautiful experience. So I think the difference here between guiding somebody, providing that coaching experience, and just doing a reading is that we're really empowering people to find the answers for themselves, which creates long-term sustainable change in a person, right? Now, I remember when I first had a life coach sort of experience, and this is a little bit different because we're using your tarot knowledge as well here, but that first experience, somebody helped me to see a problem where I was creating a problem based on fear for a situation that didn't actually exist. And that's the kind of thing that really changes your life when you realize, like, oh my gosh, that thing doesn't actually exist. I'm being my own worst enemy. I have this own thing here. But when somebody else tells us that and it's advice, we don't listen. We don't listen to advice. We go ask for a second opinion. We ask somebody else's advice, right? And when you can guide somebody to coming to that answer on their own, it's so much more powerful, so much more powerful. I remember when I was working as an executive functioning skills coach for adults for a time period who had ADHD, like lawyers, doctors I worked with to help them learn to organize themselves. And I could tell people all day long, do this, do this, do this. But when I could say, well, let's figure out, why don't you come up with 10 things you can try, 5 things you can try, give them a shot, write down what happens, and we'll look at that together and we'll reflect. Giving people the tools to come to their own answers is far more powerful than giving people the answers, right? So just try that with yourself. We talk a lot too here about intentional tarot strategies. So if you ask your card deck, like, what am I not seeing in this situation? You pull the 3 of Swords and maybe you're thinking like, okay, well, I'm not seeing the actual sadness here. Whereas if you say, how do I feel right now and how do I want to feel? And you pick those cards intentionally and ask those questions and paint the picture with the card. That's a different experience. You're taking control over that situation and having power over it instead of just finding more depth for yourself to circle into, right? Another thought spiral. So I love using tarot intuitively. Don't get me wrong. We teach that in our Tarot Throwdown class. We read tarot intuitively, just like, you know, tarot has been read for years and years and years. But there is this additional way to use the cards as a tool for growth that I think is, I know in my life that the more I do that, the more powerful the tool is for me. And actually, when I give intuitive readings or I do that for myself, the more on point those are, the more powerful those are, because I'm able to access this different way of thinking about the tarot, right? Not just the intuitive way, but also this very intentional personal guidance development sort of way. So it's really an interesting thing. So think about that in terms of your tarot practice and how are you using the cards to help propel you forward rather than asking more questions that might be leading to more confusion for yourself. All right, lots of food for thought there. So this is just a short episode today as we talk about what this idea of tarot coaching is, how it might work in someone's life, why this idea came to be, and how we can use it in our own practices and in reading for others. So if you want to learn more about the program that we have, you can check it out at tarotthrowdown.com. But in the meantime, follow along with everything that we're doing on Instagram. We've always got tarot spreads over there for the full moon and the new moon over on our blog at thesistersenchanted.com/blog. And until next time, I hope that you have an enchanted rest of your day ahead.